All right, so I'm back. Let's do it. Let's do a thing. Let's do a video. Content. So it's about time that I do another video, because honestly, if I don't, then I won't. It's kind of how it goes. We're gonna go ahead and just put this out there into the ether. I am so bad at taking hiatuses. Help me with this. But during my unfortunate hiatus, a couple things have changed. You'll probably notice I'm wearing a hat, and as the saying goes, new hat don't know how to act. And also another reason is because my hair is getting much longer. I'm kind of starting to feel like my high school emo days, and maybe we should just be listening to My Chemical Romance for the rest of this video. Seriously, they never got bad, ever. So fight me on that one. And the item number 2, new microphone setup. Good things. It's a good thing. It's actually a microphone that I've had, but I just recently got a power supply for it. So boom, bada bing, life's a wonderful thing. To the reason I wanted to make this video is there was a little bit of news involving Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Netflix series that's coming out. Before we get into the meat, I want to talk about the potatoes. I really enjoyed that series. I'm like a late bloomer to the Avatar: The Last Airbender series. My girlfriend got me into it a couple months ago, kind of like right when it started airing on Netflix. I've always put it off. Everyone has always told me to watch it, and I've always put it off. And then finally I was just like, okay, fine, I'll watch it. I have nothing better to do. Furlough from work is a blessing and a curse. After like thousands of people have told me to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, I finally did. I've got to say, honestly, it was like one of the best shows I've ever watched in my entire life. Avatar: The Last Airbender has no business being on like a kids channel platform. Not because of vulgarity or anything like that, but because like it's just got such an intense roller coaster of emotion and character dynamics, and like it slaps. I just feel like the creators had such a good idea of what makes a show emotional and lesson learning, I guess. I don't know how else to put it, but we're not here to talk about my love for Avatar. We're here to talk about the live action series, the Netflix version. Netflix was originally working with 2 of the original creators, Michael DiMartino and Brian Konietzko. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Konietzko? Well, Michael and Brian have decided to separate from the project. Michael and Brian both wrote letters to their fans talking about why they're leaving. So essentially, Michael and Brian were saying that Netflix was heading in a different direction, and when they were promised to be a part of the series, their part they kind of felt was being diminished, and they weren't working in a supportive environment. In the description, I'm going to go ahead and post links to the letters in case you guys want to read them, but I'm going to go ahead and read a couple quotes from them. In Michael DiMartino's letter, he wrote, "When Brian and I signed onto the project in 2018, we were hired as executive producers and showrunners. In a joint announcement for the series, Netflix said that it was committed to honoring our vision for this retelling and to supporting us on creating the series. And we expressed how excited we were for the opportunity to be at the helm. Unfortunately, things did not go as hoped." So let's say on a film set, the director has the majority of the power. They're the manager, basically. Well, on TV and film, they have a showrunner as well as a director, and the showrunner is above the director. The showrunner helps move forward the creative process of the show, and they kind of make the big decisions on where the show's going and what's happening with the characters and how we're bringing these characters to life. So that's kind of a big promise and a big role to fill. And essentially in the letters, it says they weren't given as much creative freedom as they should have had. And you would think, as someone who's trying to make a successful live adaptation of something that are usually so bad, and they're typically not taken well by fans. So given Netflix's run, you would think they would want to go full in and make this a good series. And from reading both the letters, it kind of seems like they weren't given the full creativity and control that they were promised. In Brian Konietzko's letter, there is one point that I do want to quote where he says, "To be clear, this was not a simple matter of us not getting our way. Mike and I are collaborative people. We did not need all of the ideas to come from us. As long as we felt those ideas were in line with the spirit and integrity of Avatar, we would have happily embraced them. However, we ultimately came to the belief that we would not be able to meaningfully guide the direction of the series." And that is like a red flag. And in paraphrasing another part of Brian's letter, he talks about how Netflix created a unsupportive and negative environment for their creativity. Brian does say that there are people that he and Michael hired on that he thinks will be able to help the show go along, but it doesn't really give me much hope if the original creators left because they were trying to take it in a different direction and they're getting too much pushback. You know what I mean? How would someone lower than them be able to help push the show forward? There's a bit of extra information. So there's a third party in that creative group, a guy by the name of Dan Lin, and he has a production company called Rideback. And a good thing about Dan is he did create the Lego movies, which culturally did pretty well. I mean, it was a pop culture topic for a while that had many quotable moments, and you're like, hey, that's pretty good. Go on, guys. Nice. High five. So you would think with Dan Lin behind the wheel, the series should be fine, right? The only thing that could go wrong is if Dan Lin has done a live action adaptation of an anime that has gone terribly wrong. What? Oh no. So I pulled up a movie list of what movies Dan Lin has worked on, and one of them was the Death Note movie. And with certain reviews saying things like it should have been an inspired by and not labeled as Death Note because it's so far off from the original source material, that doesn't give me hope. Nope. So that makes me feel that doesn't bode too well for the series. I don't know. This is just information I found out, but for the sake of it, in the comments below, are you guys fans of the Avatar series? If so, how big of fans? And how do you feel about this information regarding the live action series? Because I'm a little scared, if I'm honest. I want to say I really appreciate everybody who came over from Holden's channel over to my stuff. I saw a lot of wonderful comments on my things, very motivational, and that is like the number one thing that keeps me going and keeps me motivated. I love entertaining, I love making videos, and I hope to get on a good track doing this. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.